I don't believe it. Hey y'all, what's up? This is Can We Talk with Monique? I am Monique. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on your lunch break. As you come in, please give me a thumbs up. Guys, this story, I have been following, and a lot of this information I've gleaned from some documents I've obtained, but not from, also from watching other content creators. And there's another content creator. I don't know her first name, but she has a channel called Real Talk Bougie, and she did a live with the Zoom meeting with back in October that they did for Ericka King or Hughley or Rothschild or whatever name that she's going by. And let me just preface this by saying I don't know the woman. I'm just following the case like everybody else. And people might ask why you're interested. It's an interesting case from many different facets on the female side, the male side, but it's an intriguing case nonetheless. And I was really, really touched when I found out that this young lady had gotten released and they diagnosed her with multiple sclerosis. Now, I'm not one to I don't know the 100% truth, but when I did look at some of the documents that were displayed, and I really don't know why they displayed her PHI. I think they wanted it out there to the public. I do know that Judge Manning, during that October call, basically was like, some of this stuff you're streaming live on Zoom, and her attorney was like, I redacted what I thought, but it's called PHI. It's called public health information. And you never really want your medical documents out on the YouTube streets. But that's exactly what her own attorney did during a Zoom call. So I would not even be able to look at some of this information, and I should not be able to look at some of this information, but this is what her attorney, and I think they put it out there. I think Ericka wanted it out there. I think her attorney wanted it out there that this woman had a medical condition, and it's a serious medical condition, a condition called multiple sclerosis. It's a neurological condition that affects your brain. It affects sometimes how you speak, move, and actually even think, to the point where some people who have MS, they're no longer able to work. They end up in wheelchairs and things of that nature. But they put this out there on the street. So I just want to say that this was, Judge Manning was kind of reprimanding her, the actual attorney for Ericka, but the attorney felt the need during that Zoom meeting to put up her MRI, her documentation from the church, documentation from the doctor stating that this woman had MS. This was on a Zoom meeting that was released to the public. Okay, so I would have not had this information to look at. So, I've been looking at the case. And one of the things that I do know, and all of us know, and those of you guys in the chat, please give me a thumbs up as you come in. Those of you do know that Ericka, it has been alleged, and the counterpart or the co-defendant, Ernesto Williams, they've been known to be masterminds. Even Kevin Majeski said he admired the work as far as their forged documents. So I don't know if the judges and the attorneys like to have things or like to be played with, or I believe these people are playing in their faces. These people, look, number one, they are masterminds of forgery of documents. So if it's easy, if it was not difficult for them to forge seals, we're talking about creating all type of fake law firms, filing stuff in court, making pretend. I mean, if they're able to do that, I'm not saying this woman doesn't have a medical issue. But when I look at some of these documents, it screams to me fake. Now, I don't know what medical issues that she has. But if I knew that these were the type of people that knew how to forge documents, then I would look very closely at every single document that they provided as it pertains to her medical history. I will look very, very close and very, very hard. Now, this is for fair use. Hold on for a second. Let me put up this banner. I want to give a thanks to a channel called Real Talk Bougie. I don't know the young lady's name, but I looked at her channel to look at these documents, and it was screaming to me forgery and fake. Like I said, I don't have a problem. If this young lady is ill, then my empathy and my sympathy for her. But if I were the prosecution, I would be going and looking at them cases. Now, I know they said she had an inpatient medical record, but some of these dates are screaming to me, and some of these documents, because I look at documents for a living in the medical profession, some of these documents are screaming, these are not real. They might be real, but some of the documents are screaming forgery. So I want to give a shout out to Real Talk Bougie. I'm going to share. This is for fair use for educational and commentary purposes. Now, if this young lady is truly ill, then I will say I'm sorry. But just based on the fact of these people that Kevin Majeski himself said, these people pretended to be realtors. They pretended to be attorneys. They have fake notaries. They created a fake law firm. They created a fake Superior Court seal. They created fake state bars. They created fake stock certificates. And he literally had to say he was impressed with they had to get people in their office to check that it was fake. That's how good they are. So I'm not saying that this young lady is not sick or ill. But what I'm saying to you is they had better check those documents to make sure that this stuff is really legit. Okay? Because when I looked at it, it's like, wait a minute. Y'all are saying that this person is that good with the stuff. And even Majeski said on the way when they arrested her, right? There was some sort of what do you call it? A oxygen tank, but it wasn't oxygenating nothing. These people are masterminds of deception, whether you want to believe it or not. Now, I hate the fact that if this lady is sick, I hope she gets better. But let me just share some screens, and I'm going to show you why I think, in my opinion, I might be wrong. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But I do this for a living. I look at medical records, okay? I look at documentation. And something about this is screaming, and some of this stuff looks so shoddy, that I'm like, some of this stuff is fake. So let me share. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. This is from the channel Real Talk Bougie. This is from her episode. She did a live, said, let's talk co-defendant Ernesto Williams and Ericka King. Thank you so much for providing this information. Okay. These are documents that were displayed during the Zoom hearing. Now, I have to strain to read it, but I sure was reading it. And I remember her attorney saying, look, she's not a flight risk because we picked her up, we released her, and she didn't flee. So wait a minute. They picked her up. According to this document, it says that here, let's see, hold on, I'm trying to see here. 7/9. If you look here, it says here that they picked her up on 7/9, July the 9th, right? They picked her up. They booked her on July the 9th. Now, Ernesto was arrested on July the 7th and put in prison, in jail. She was booked, but she was released, and she was re-arrested. She was arrested on July 22nd, okay? Just think about these dates. I'm just going somewhere with this, okay? So if you strain this real close, it says a criminal history for the defendant. It says she was booked on July. It looks like it says she was booked on July 9th. Okay. But she was arrested on, it looks like, July the 22nd. That hearing took place in October of 2022. Okay. Now, let's go to, I'm going to stop sharing here because I'm just trying to, I just don't believe the documents. I don't believe the documents that were submitted. I don't. And look, she played in your face before, Judge Manning. She played in your face before at the courts. These people play in your face. Okay. So let me stop presenting. I just don't believe the documents are true. I don't believe they're real. Let me share another screen. This is from the same live screen. And I'm so happy that she did that live. Let's see. Hold on. Not that one. Now, I hate to share this PHI, but I'm just going to share it because this was shared all over the Zoom. Okay. This is supposedly the MRI for this woman here. And this one is dated July the 11th. Okay. So she was booked on, Ernesto was arrested on July 7th. She was booked on July 9th. This MRI, it does say Ericka King. Okay. This is dated July 11th. So apparently they were saying that 2 months before, 60 days before her arrest back in May, she had been diagnosed. Let me tell y'all something. And this is just my belief, y'all. Okay. Because the dates are so close together. These people are chameleons. They're able to forge and do anything. And if they have not done their due diligence, and I'm going to stop sharing this. Hold on 1 second. How do I stop sharing this? Hold on. Hold on. Stop sharing. So I'm just saying to you guys, I do not believe that these documents are real. And if the prosecution and the Fulton County court system, knowing that these people are professional forgers, if that's such a word, and y'all didn't go to that doctor's office. Now, let me show you something else, because this is stuff that they This is stuff that they projected across and her lawyer obviously knew, and they were saying that this is it. Now I know there's some documents in court that you can electronically sign, but this, you're gonna have me believe that this is the doctor's signature here, electronically signed on the 20th of September, it looks like, by Dr. Vargas, who is a neurologist at Emory University. That is correct. But something just, a lot of doctors, when you go to a physician at Emory University, okay, they can electronically sign stuff. They use a electronic medical record called Epic. And a lot of times what they will do is they'll have their assistant write up or type up the letter, but then they either stamp it or sign it. So I don't know how this electronic signature stuff, I don't know. It just does not look correct to me. I don't see any signatures, no written signatures of an actual signed document of an MD. This is electronic. This could be anybody. These are the same people who have forged documents electronically before, because it doesn't require a signature. The electronic signature is a signature. But these are the same people who know how to manipulate systems, okay? Who know how to go and file paperwork within the court system. I don't believe the documentation. This is what I am saying, okay? Don't play with me. I don't believe it. I just believe that some of this stuff is forged. This is just my belief, okay? It is just my belief. I don't believe it. And if these people have not gone and checked to see if this stuff is legit, I don't know what else to tell you. Let me show you what else I don't believe. I don't believe it. Now, I could be wrong, but I've worked in healthcare for about 30 years, okay? And I look at documentation. I look at documentation all day long. This other letter here from, and like I said, shout out to Real Talk Bougie. This is from her channel, okay? Because I didn't have this documentation. This is a letter. This font right here, this font. Do you see the font? Let me blow that up. First of all, the red flags that come out to me is there is no real heading. If you are a church, and that church does exist, where is your letterhead? How is this font? This looks like this is a font. This looks like the same font. Yo, this looks like the same font. See, people don't think that people are not going to look. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find the font. This font here that you're looking at here up top where it says Reverend Elijah Jones. First of all, this is chicken scratch, okay? And this was not signed at all either. There was nobody's real signature, John Hancock, on this. This looks like anybody USA and their grandmother could have written this letter. But what strikes me as this not being a legit, actual, something that is not legitimate is there's no letterhead. Most churches have a letterhead. All this says is Pastor Reverend Elijah Jones Sr., chairman of the Deacon Board, and James Relaford. But this font looks familiar to me, okay? This font don't look right. That's not how, and then it's written out. Okay, so where's the date? I want to know where's the date at on this documentation. So anyway, when you go, let me stop sharing that. This just does not look like a professional letter. I'm not saying it's not real, but it throws up red flags to me based on a person. Okay, is Ernesto'S friend watching? Because she always says that nobody has any smoke for his co-defendant. Look, there was so much fraud going on. I'm bringing the smoke right now because I believe they're playing in the judge's face. I believe they're playing in the court's face all over again, just like they did in that Zoom meeting. I believe they're playing in your face and my face too. Okay, because having an illness is nothing to laugh at and nothing to joke about and nothing to lie about. Now, I'm not saying she's lying, but these documents are sending red flags up all over the place. This font looks familiar. Let me show you why. Let me show you why that font looks familiar. Hold on for a second. That font looks very, very familiar to me. Hold on. Shout out to Real Talk Bougie. That's all I could say because I've been looking at that video and I'm like, something ain't right here. Because the same font from that letter looked like the same font. Hold on. from this letter. You see the fonts? Do you see that font looks very strange? This font looks very strange. This is the letter that's supposed to be from her doctor. Okay? It looks very strange. Emory, this is supposed to be from Emory University, from Dr. Diane Vargas. And look at there, there's a typo right there between but there's no signature. There's an electronic signature at the bottom. Okay? It says it says September, the date of this is September, I think 20-something, 2022. So the date of the hearing was in October. She was brought in, booked on the 9th, arrested on July 22nd, went and got her MRI on, looked like July the 11th. Okay. This was dated September the 20th, 2022. It says to Miss Ericka King. Miss King, you are a patient at the Emory, I'm trying to read it, health center you are being followed for the diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. There's just something about this letter doesn't ring right to me. You see this font? Do you see this font up here? Why is this font looking different from the font right here? This font right here looks different from here. Like somebody crossed out, had a letter from Emory. This is just my belief. I might be wrong, but I don't think so, based on the history of these folk, okay? This font is different than here. Why isn't all the font the same? I can't blow this up anymore. Maybe Real Talk Bougie will be able to do this on her channel. Blow this up. This font right here is dark. This one is lighter, like somebody is highlighting and going over stuff. I believe this is all forged. Look, I'm telling you, these people have connects and they know how to get down and do this. I'm not saying she's not sick, but the documentation, to me, the documentation ain't jiving. Do you see the font here? Almost look like the same font, because you can use like the different type of fonts. You can use Times Roman numerals, but this font right here, now I'm gonna stop sharing here and I'm gonna go back to that letter, and this is all that I'm saying to you. I just don't believe it, guys. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Some of this documentation looks shysty. It does not look correct, and I am thinking that there's something wrong with it. I'm believing that. Okay, so let me it just doesn't look like it's correct. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. The font I know people at Emory. I know how the doctors document. I look at their documentation all the time. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. Look at the font. Look at this font. Then look here. This font is different. Then this font looks even man, get out of here. Even look, the professionalism of it. Did they go to Diane Vargas to see if she wrote this up? Did they go to her? I don't care if you got an admission documentation. I do not care. Whatever documentation they got, even if it's inpatient documentation from a hospital, check it and check it twice, because these people are huge frauds. They are able to fraudulently fool even down there at the courthouse. So do you not think these people have the ability to conjure up other stuff? You know what I'm saying? They're so busy talking about Roswell and these other people are frauds. No, these people are straight up and down frauds. Plain and daggone simple. There's something wrong with the documentation. The documentation ain't jiving. It ain't looking right. And I do believe that this stuff has been fraudulently submitted. And I believe that the attorneys need to go back and hold on one second. Let me see if I can I believe, let me see. Let me see what y'all are saying. Hey, sister to sister, thank you so much for the Cash App. It says 6 copy and paste is real. That's a copy and paste, straight up and down. That's a copy and paste. And y'all taking these documents from people who are known. He even called it impressive. Kevin Majeski basically was like, yo, I admire their work. I had to get other people, experts, to look at it to even show that it was fake. These people are masterminds of forgery. So y'all are thinking that they can't mastermind and forge medical documents. Y'all are, look, I don't believe the documents. Let me see what Miss T. Jones says. I totally agree. I believe Mr. Majesty, prosecutor will look into it by the time she is to appear before the courts. Yeah, they better go check this stuff out because I believe some of this documentation is forged. Bottom line. That is what I believe. Let me go to y'all accounts. Thank y'all for joining me today. I don't go live often on this channel. Let me say hi, give you guys a shout out. We got Vicky Valet 83. Thank you, Vicky Valet. I recognize your names. You always make comments in my videos. I appreciate that. What's up? Shout out to Shonda C. Caught alive. Yay! I appreciate you. That's what's up. Ericka Caldwell, thank you, Ericka. You're another one that faithfully comments on my videos. I appreciate you, sis. That's what's up. Sister to sister, afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. But I had to say something about this because we talk about Ernesto, but her hands definitely are not clean with this. And because I do certain things for a living, I looked at this stuff. I looked at it right away. And I was like, that's fake. That don't look right. I would be investigating because the fonts are off. The fonts are off. So between, I believe, this is just my belief, between she was booked on July 9th, well, July 7th, Ernesto went in. So she figured as much. I think she got notice. By the time they booked her on July 9th, now they're saying that she was diagnosed before. Look, these people are chameleons. I would not believe nothing that came out their mouth. Not one word, not one iota. I'm sorry, but I don't believe it. Okay. She was arrested on the 22nd, but then went into wherever she went and got an MRI on July 11th. So 2 days after she was booked, man, they getting the stories together and calling up their connects. That's what I believe. Those fonts don't match, and that's just the bottom line. I believe it's good research. Thank you, Daisy, Daisy Stash. How you doing, girl? How you doing, Daisy? Hey, Linda Gibbs. How you doing? Yep, Monique is in the house. Shout out to all my family in Brooklyn, New York. Hey, you're right. I'm just saying, this is my opinion. This is what we do. And some people said, why? I like mysteries. I like to solve problems, but don't go playing. You played already in the judges' faces before, pretending to be an attorney when you weren't. These people pretend and play in people's faces, and eventually somebody's gonna get sick and tired and sick of you playing in their face with these forged documents. Hey, Lorinda Smith Stanford, how you doing? Thank you for joining me today. Please give me a thumbs up. Sister to sister says at Monique, that's plenty of time to forge the documents like medical and church. Absolutely. Letter information with the deacon's last name being the same as her phony. This is if we hear out on YouTube streets, and maybe sometimes this is why some people don't like YouTubers and bloggers and stuff, because give us time. We'll put it together. And no, we're not just sitting together. I do this for a living. I look at medical documentation. I've been doing this for 30 years. Them documents ain't right. Something ain't right about them. And that's just the bottom line. Don't tell me. I could look at them fonts and see they're different. And I know how they get down over there at Emory University. And I know people in that neurology department. Okay? Shout out to Dr. Silva. Anyway. Wow, this is unbelievable. Gemini Visions Infinity. I believe those documents are forged. So yeah, she got out, and maybe the conditions were deplorable there. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, they said she had gotten into altercation, but I do not believe those documents are valid, especially from individuals that play attorneys. They set up a whole law firm. Man, this stuff is deep, okay? It is deep. And y'all ain't looking at this paperwork, and her lawyer who took that paperwork, you didn't look at that and look at that chicken scratch handwriting and look and say, what is this? Where's the letterhead for the church? Okay, because I'm sure the letterhead, there's some letterhead somewhere. I totally agree. I believe the Majesty prosecutor will look into it by the time she appears for court. Y'all better stop letting these people play in your face. It says, Ericka Caldwell said, bougie, my baby. Yup, she does her work. I really do love her commentary, though. I really, really do. You know what I'm saying? It says, I think you are absolutely correct. These documents are not real. Yeah, so if y'all letting her out on the fact, I mean, yes, they let her out. She was, eligible for born. But the fact of the matter that y'all were letting her out based on medical situation like this, stop playing. She was playing in your face with that daggone oxygen tank. She ain't on no oxygen. Did you see her on oxygen while she was sitting there during that Zoom meeting? She ain't on no oxygen. Shoot, if they were washing car titles. They were stealing people's identities. Do you all think these people got connects? Man, please. Or time to go and say you got symptoms and go to a doctor? Man, you better get out of here. The arresting officer said Ericka's oxygen shake it wasn't even hooked up to nothing. She was already perpetrating a fraud. Y'all better go check them documents if you know what I know. He did. That's true. Let me see what else. Pamela Clinkscale says, oh, I'm late. You're not late. We're just talking about the documents that I just believe there's something wrong with them, and I think they need to be looked into. And said that the church dude that wrote the letter is deceased. Child, this is all a fraud. These people are frauds. And if you know, where's Kevin at? Kevin, where you at, Kevin Majeski? Okay, go check on them documents, okay? Because they don't seem real to me. They don't seem real. The fonts ain't fonting. I'm gonna switch back to that and go on to that videos. One video, and I had to go and study the documents because I don't have the documents. Some of you guys who have requested those documents and stuff like that, thank y'all so much for doing that. But I haven't requested those documents, so I can only go by the videos that I watch. It's 83 of y'all here in the house. Please give me a thumbs up for the algorithm. Y'all know I don't be going live, but I looked at them paperworks and I was like, child, please, she playing in your face. Judge Manning, Kevin, yeah, they playing in your face. It says Ericka is the criminal mastermind and no, I believe they both are crooked. I don't believe, no, they both were doing it. Ericka could read and write, and I don't like to diss Ernesto. He can articulate, but she was the brains as far as she has a college degree. So she was able to use. Now, I don't know how you go from being, working for, a 10-year history with a career, and now all of a sudden the mastermind of a fraud scheme. Like, where did all this come from? Okay. I believe he used her for her, just like he's using, the friend of his. Hey girl, hey Daisy J, how y'all all doing today? Let's see what y'all saying. Say that you the best, boo. You keep it up. Well, the truth is the truth. So don't play in our faces like we just stupid over here and like we don't know nothing. There was somebody else, his friend talked about, I don't know why, why didn't Roswell pick him up? Well, Roswell is in Fulton County. So that's why they picked him up and put him in Fulton County jail. If you do some research and stop talking so much, then maybe some of this stuff would make sense. You know what I mean? Nothing but facts. Yeah, the fonts are all off. It says, I would not be surprised if Ericka used a jail computer to create these documents and got the x-rays off. Child, please. That MRI was done on 11th. I was trying to blow it up because I didn't have the capacity, because that is the intellectual property and that's her video from Real Talk Bougie. That's her stuff, right? But I didn't have the ability. I'm not that technically savvy, but I wasn't able to blow the actual MRI up. I look at documents, MRIs, op reports, progress notes. I know what I'm looking at. I know how doctors sign. I know what real medical notes and doctors stuff look like. I know folks over there at Emory University. Come on now. Y'all better look at the documentation. Nessa was not smart enough to understand all of it. Right. He needed her. She did the paperwork. If you remember that picture of them standing in front of the Hummer, Ericka was the one holding the paperwork. He said he's about money, guns, and, making money or whatever he said, but he needs somebody to be able to read for him. I do not believe he's able to, as far as his reading comprehension. I don't believe it's at that point. He just wanted to be a playboy using Ericka. Child, I don't know, but I think them documents ain't right. Hey there from Tampa. Hey, what's up from Tampa, Florida? Your first live. Shout out to you, Real B. What's up? I hope y'all had your lunch. I don't know what y'all eating today, but I hope y'all snacking on something. Hey, CA 1983, how you doing? What's up? What's going on? It says your animations are beautiful. Thank you, QW. I'm not good with the thumbnail thing, and I'm not really good with the So I sat down one day, and I was like, I'm not really good with the thumbnails, and I'm not really good with the actual wording of the thumbnails, because you got to have a caption. So I was like, if I make something bright, maybe people will just click on it just to see what it is, and that's why I started doing that, because I wasn't really, it says, I would have hoped the prosecutor would have validated the letter since he was telling the judge how. That's what I'm saying, Kevin. Majeski knew. He was like, yo, I think she's a flight risk. She's going to reoffend again. To me, this is reoffending. This is what I'm talking about. He was like, look, her chances of reoffending are like 100%. She's going to reoffend again. These people are masterminds of forging documents. This is what they do. This is what they do. This is what they do. This is my belief. But I'm going to show you again. Go on to Real Talk Bougie. I will tell you the caption of that actual video. It says the real reason was she got, over the commissary, yeah, something happened in there. And I hate that it happened. And if she is really sick, I'm sorry. And I have empathy and I hope she gets better. But what you're not going to do is provide us with documentation with fonts all over the place, nobody's real signature, and all of these other things, right in between that time frame of you getting books, then getting arrested. And now these people were planning this. That's why they had ambulances and oxygen tanks. Okay? That's why she had ambulances and oxygen tanks. Now you can swap anybody's name. I'm telling you, you can pay people to get stuff. Man, please. She wouldn't share her cornbread. I think they are both crooked, but he leaned on her superb crookedness. He leaned on her knowledge and her ability to read and write things down. Mastermind is generous. Their schemes were not very sophisticated. They were sophisticated enough. They had formed an actual attorney's a law firm and were filing documents with the Supreme Court seal. Yeah, they were clever enough. Yes, they did. Actually, some of the cases went nole pros. So you can't believe nothing. These people steal identities, and this is where allegedly, okay, this is all alleged. In different states, washing car titles, man, they had a thing going. Okay, that was enough for her release. They said, okay, we don't want her, she's deteriorating. I believe those documents are forged. It says here, the only thing with the diagnosis is she had medication. Well, yeah, you can do all of that. She had medication, right? She had medication. I'm not saying that she's not ill. I don't know. These people y'all don't understand you see, what happens is, I think because we are not going out here scamming and flamming and forging things, right? You can get medication on other people's name. You can get she had multiple aliases. Do you not know? That's why she claimed she couldn't get a medication, because she was under Hughley versus King. These people use multiple aliases. Nothing is real with them. So if you lie and you pay people off to say man, this is deep. All I know is that documentation don't seem real. These people forged everything. She had an oxygen tank with nothing was coming out of it, claiming she needed oxygen. So she was already getting her defense already. I'm going to say I'm sick. Didn't Ernesto do that when he first got there and the judge was like, you should have thought about that before you did what you did? I think she's the brains of the operation. Who's in jail and who's not? Nasty Nesto annoys the heck out of me. Mister, I'm being set up on all counts. Yeah, okay. They both were doing it. It says here, him nor his friend can read well. Right. So he needed somebody. She's a college educated person. And I think she used to be a pastor or preacher too. But he said she was Queen of the South. Yep, she was going to need oxygen. Yeah, she was going to need it. I'm just saying, this is my opinion. But hey, how y'all doing? It says good commentary, Monique. Thank you so much. I hope they're looking, because let me show you. Let me go back. Now go back. This is the channel Real Talk Bougie. Now here on this bogus looking letter that she or somebody got, look at the font. Where's the letterhead? This looks like this was typed out. It looks fake to me. And when you go to the bottom of it, which I don't have, I would have to scroll. There's no signature on this. It says reference to Ericka King. Miss King has been a regional participant of Greater Zion Hill, although she has not joined the church as yet. I feel that she will soon. She has been a dedicated person that enjoys serving the Lord and enjoys the services. She has been attending the service faithfully since we have reopened after the pandemic. So what they ask you for, she already knows they want something to show that she's a part of the community. They do typically want you to be a member of a church, which shows you have stability. So it's very funny how they put in, well, she's not a member of the, she hasn't joined yet. Let me tell you something. These are people who are thinking about how to get out of something, in my opinion. But look at that font. Look at the font. That's some kind of, that ain't no letterhead. The font is funny. It's just funny. Like it had to be done on, maybe, I believe they were done on the same computers. Now, let me stop sharing this. And then I'm going to show you this doctor's letter. It's supposed to be from Emory University. Guys, they can forge, people can forge passports, driver's licenses. They can forge anything. Okay? So please don't think that forgeries don't happen. They can forge anything. And there's something called the dark web. I don't know how you get to it, but yeah. Let me show you this another reason why I just don't think this is a doctor's and this is from Real Talk Bougie. I want to say that again because this is from her channel. Okay? I don't have this documentation. Her channel, this is called Let's Talk Codefendent. Ernesto Williams and Ericka King going over there. I don't know if it was a video or live. I think it was a live. Look at this. Is supposed to be a letter from Emory. Now look at this font up here. This is a darker font. This is why is there two fonts? First of all, ain't nobody typing with typewriters at Emory. There's what you call EPIC, which is their electronic medical record. And if they are typing something up, the admins that sit there typically, or it's usually the social worker. If you in the neurology department, because I know people over there, shout out to Dr. Silver. In the neurology department, they have admins, or sometimes they get the social workers. The doctors don't always type it up, but the doctors do sign. The doctors sign with their signature, okay? Or they don't typically stamp anything. They sign with their signature, okay? And there's no reason for there to be two different fonts on the same letter because it's being done on the computer. So why would you start with a font here, then end with a font here, then have another font here? It doesn't make sense. And then at the bottom, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't believe that this is real. It doesn't sound proper. It doesn't sound like it's worded properly. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm just saying these dates and things, and based on the past history, I would go and look at, I don't give a crap, excuse me, if she had medication that supported it. Because my thing is, let me just say this to y'all. It is not, some people don't take, hold on one second. Let me stop sharing. If I can stop. Hold on. I'm trying to stop sharing. Stop screen. Okay. Yeah. Some people don't take their oath of office always seriously. Some people can be bought and sold with however. But it sounds, I don't care if she had prescriptions. I really don't even care. I believe the documentation is fraudulent, and that's just my belief because I know how they work and operate there at Emory. Why are you switching from one font to the other? If you use an Arial 13 or, Times Roman numeral, you're doing this on a computer. Nobody's using a typewriter at Emory University. None of the admins or usually what they do in those clinics, whether it's neurology, ophthalmology, oncology, they are using, they use sometimes either some administrative people, but most of the documentation, they're getting like in those areas, they have a dedicated social worker. And the social worker is dedicated for that group or team that, the doctor has to sign the stuff. So I'm trying to figure out how this stuff is being done, where that letter and that documentation come from. Because that ain't how they get down at Emory, okay? They need to check the credibility of her current, I don't know, her attorney who received that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's an attorney. But I'm saying, did her attorney didn't see that chicken scratch, Chicken George handwriting and just look and say, like, this looks very suspect? Knowing, and that's what Kevin Majeski was like, yo, look at this. Like, the incidence of reoffense with this person is nearly 100%. Okay? He was like, there's nothing for her to cut off ankle monitor and flee. It says, here's the thing. I would believe the commissary fight if she hadn't allegedly slashed her sister's tires. Lord Jesus. This, I'm telling you, Nesto keeps comparing his jail time against other offenses that have been set free. Well, Nesto, you should have did better after they got out of jail before. Y'all are funny. Hey, but I'm telling you, but you know, what had me look at this twice and 3 times are the dates, because her attorney was basically saying, look, she's not going to flee. We booked her on the 9th and we picked up on the 22nd. She didn't flee. That doesn't mean nothing. That gave her time to get stuff together, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Don't play. Look, they played in judges. They were on Zoom. Look, these people are bold. They go and sat before judges, took other people's who work hard, went to law school, took the bar exam. And if y'all remember JFK Jr., I think JFK Jr., God rest the dead, he took that bar exam I don't know how many times. And a lot of people don't pass it on the first go. These people are playing and stealing people's identity and playing lawyers and all type of stuff. What say ye that they can't play doctor? They don't have people connect somewhere. Man, please. They are very efficient at what they do. That part. Just like you said, that part. Stop playing in people's faces. All right? Stop doing that. They did it in front of, during that Zoom meeting, there's judges and attorney. And we use these judges, now the judicial system ain't perfect, but we rely on the judicial system, all right, to lay down the law of the land. All right. And typically a lot of these laws are based on scriptures, whether you know it or not. Now, they would literally have the balls and the gumption to get on a Zoom meeting and act like you take somebody else's attorney number and try to quote law. These people, I'm telling you, are diabolical. So I know our heartstrings were like, oh my God, this is so sad. And it is sad. You don't want nobody, you don't want nobody sick. Absolutely not. It says, this is my first live also. You are on to something. There are no formal letterhead on none of those documents and no signatures. Talk about electronic. That was just how OG Nesto, in my opinion, allegedly filed them bankruptcy papers, electronic filing them. Those documents ain't real. I know folk there at Emory University. So stop it. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. Stop it. I just think they need to delve deep. Majeski, where you at? You know, them documents was so realistic that you had to call people so they can check against other documents and be like, nah, these are fake. That's how good they are. I wonder, did she at least pinch? Y'all are crazy. Did you do the vid on Nesto Ericka regarding the dude? I got that coming. It's an hour-long video. Ivory GG. I got that coming. I got that coming. It says they got too greedy. Even some, know when to get out and go legit. Absolutely. And kind of, put their money in a car wash or, put their money in a laundromat. I know people. Look, we all know somebody that might be a little crooked. Okay. And the neighborhoods I grew up in, when I used to go and do what I had to do in the neighborhoods I grew up in, I knew all the people who was dealing the illegal narcotics. Come on now. Yeah, eventually sometimes they do. You can get medication with, absolutely. Do you know how many people are getting fake fentanyl and getting the perks and all these other prescriptions? This is not hard to do. So the fact that she has some medication that may have, I would like to know what medication it was, because if it wasn't lined up with MS, because there's certain medications that are specific to that neurological disease. Man, please. I think Bougie said the meds weren't a different name. This is suspect as well. I know she used, there's different names all over the place. It's 83 of y'all. Please do me a favor and give me a thumbs up for the algorithm. I do appreciate your participation and I appreciate all of your comments. You better say it. They were brilliant in the work. Absolutely. If they would take their minds and put it to something else, they could have built an empire for real. If they would have took their minds together and did something legitimate versus stealing, allegedly, Okay, they were brilliant. He said it himself. He never seen it. The documents look legit. They were legitimately not prosecuting, but they were pretending to be lawyers, and they were legitimately going and appearing for cases and filing motions and all type of stuff. It's a hot mess. Majeski knows. He knows. No, Majeski. He knows. You better look at them documents. And I don't understand her attorney. Two things I really didn't like. Her attorney did defend her. I give her that. I did not like her putting the PHI up there all over the, and Judge Manning had a problem with that. She was like, look, we don't want you. She was like, well, I redacted. No, you put a MRI, but if all of this stuff is for naught, then whatever. Yes, I don't know what's going on with his kidneys, but I think if they're failing, they probably was having issues prior to him going in there. That's what I believe, because I've looked at some pictures. If y'all go back on his Instagram, he had been hospitalized before. I don't know what's going on with his kidneys, child. Nasty Nesto got caught holding the bag. Lord Jesus. What is Ericka Hartwell saying? Talking about his kidneys, laughing like a You know what? The bottom line is this. There is nothing that we think we can fool people. We can fool each other. We can get over and deceive each other, but you're not fooling God. And eventually he will wink. He will show you some mercy. He will show you some compassion, and he'll give you some time to turn around. But eventually, some people call it karma. I don't. I call it reaping and sowing. I reaped some things I sowed, and I know better than to be trying to do something, because I don't like the feeling of that. I just don't. Shoot. There's no church. Absolutely no. There was no letterhead. I mean, even if there's no seal, have some letterhead at the church. Man, please. And I believe, I'm like, you accepted this? Knowing this woman, wait, doesn't she also write in all caps? Didn't she write that letter? Child, that's what I'm saying. Something ain't right here. Now, I type in caps, and I know a lot of times y'all see me typing in caps, not because I'm screaming at y'all, but because the work I do, my cap locks be on. So that's why. And I'm like, I hope they forgive me for that. That was a joke. That's a laugh. Yes, how y'all doing? I so appreciate y'all. Let's see what else is happening. Lorenda Smith, Stanford, thank you so much for the thumbs up, and thank y'all for taking time out of your lunch, your time, whatever y'all was doing. Y'all might have been sitting back. You, Ericka Caldwell said, I just believe they're fake. Now, whatever else, if the documents are fake, then I don't know. I don't want to say anything, but maybe the diagnosis is not real either. I don't know. But I do know that they know that if they say they have a medical problem that they can't handle, it would look better for her. And Judge Manning seems like a very caring, compassionate. Some judges have some compassion, you know what I mean? And that would make anybody's heart, they were talking about feces on the floor and the toilet overflow. Nobody don't want to be in jail when you get there. You might do the crime, but you definitely don't want to do the time. I don't know. Too many people will be like, yeah, I really want to be there. It says, why wasn't the church letter even typed? Thank you. Who writes, man? And y'all accepted that stuff as real? And so she could play some more in your face. Okay, who was sent a letter from the pastor of the church? But y'all accepted that. The reason Ericka is silent is because she already fled the country. This woman is 10. She might not be here. You know what? She could. That's what he said. I'm saying this to y'all. I believe that if they were able to do this with all of these other documents, I believe they had passports. And I think they know that I believe this, if Ernesto gets out, you will never see that man again. He's gone in the wind. Fabulous. This woman is 10 steps ahead. I don't know where she at, but I could tell you one thing. These people are masterminds of what they have done. And that's why I believe they had that ambulance that was supposed to be a decoy to get away. That's just my opinion. Was she going to use those fake bond documents? Yes, they were going to use those. I think I remember in a video that he said something. They was trying to start a bond company, a bail bondsman company. Remember that? So a lot of the stuff that they were doing, they told on themselves on those on them Instagram streets. Nesto on his Ernesto's luxury lifestyle, I think it is, and then Nesto, they were gonna start a bail bondsman company. I'll tell you. It says Nyla has the real truth about Ericka King, and that deacon was you know what? That's why I said this is all fake. It's fake. And y'all down there at Fulton County, we on YouTube. You got Nyla over there. We ain't got no PI and real talk, and we doing the work. And y'all what y'all getting paid for? Now we ain't hating on y'all, but y'all letting these people play in your face like that? Man. It says he said on the video that he was doing fine, his kidneys were better or whatever. I don't know what he said. I'm just like, whatever. I just wanted to bring that to y'all. And I guess the basis was that I just believe those documents don't look real, and I believe they're forged. And if they're forged, does the diagnosis stand? I'm not her doctor, and you know, but the fact that the past track history of forging everything from a fake attorney law firm to using somebody's seal for the state bar of Georgia to stolen. I mean, this is serious, y'all. To playing in the faces on Zoom meetings. They did this in front of judges. Judges. Reminded me of Gypsy Rose mama. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. It says Lorinda Smith Stanford said, reach out to grown woman vibes. Okay, Lorinda Smith Stanford. Thank you so much for that. It says silver lining, but surely the DA prosecutors verify in order to admit. You really look, they had now, okay, I understand what you're saying, but these same documents that these people had forged were flowing through the court system of Fulton County, and people in actual hearings and court cases were being decided based on some of the motions that the fake attorneys were pretending to be. So maybe they didn't realize this stuff was fake. I don't know. But I know anything that came from Ericka King or from this case, I would be examining it I would be going to Emory. I want to see all the medical records, print them out. I want to see everything to make sure this stuff is legitimate. Judge Manning, hashtag Judge Manning, hashtag forgery examples to use in description box. Hope this helps. Thank you so much, Honeybee60. Y'all are giving me some help because I don't, you know, I don't really know, but thank you. Hashtag Judge Manning. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. When it uploads, I'll put those hashtags there. Thank you, Honeybee60. Because there is something to this YouTube thing, and you gotta kind of figure it out if you don't get any help. It says Eve B as silver lining. It says it was Ericka's attorney that offered the documents to the judge, not the absolutely. Remember, the prosecutor said we heard that she had a diagnosis. This is what Majeski was saying. He said, but we never got those documents. Okay, so I don't know when he got notification, but her attorney was saying, well, she was diagnosed, 60 days before she got booked. I'm not saying I believe the attorney, but I don't believe nothing going on with that whole situation. When dealing with the person with her criminal background, you have to double check, and absolutely, you got to check it all. And I just showed you the double fonts. Emory University uses a electronic medical record called Epic. I told you again, at these different specialties like ophthalmology, what specialty MS would be under would be neurology. They have clinics, and at those clinics, depending on where you go, whether it's downtown, midtown, they have different clinics. They have a pod. They have a doctor, they have a medical assistant, they have a social worker, because a lot of these patients who are in neurology have debilitating diagnoses where they need like FMLA paperwork filled out, disability paperwork. So what they do is get the social worker to get that documentation together, like letters for your job or letters for your disability, or in Ericka's case, letters for your judge or your attorney. And the person in the pod, the social worker, will get it filled out, take it over to the doctor, have them read it, because the doctor needs to read what they're putting out, making sure they put a copy in your record and they also sign it. So this electronic signing thing, the fonts look different. It just doesn't look legitimate to me. And that's all I'm saying. Even Judge Judy knows not to accept letters and other writings from people not before her in court. Absolutely. You can't, anybody could have written that. I mean, even when my sons were in elementary school, they wrote better than that. So something is not legit with it. The fonts are off. And even Majeski was like, yo, look, y'all let her out. She's going to reoffend. Well, she's not a risk of fleeing, man, please. I believe they got passports. They'll be in Dubai somewhere, or Bangladesh, and you'll never see these people again living off it says, okay. But I was thinking that all evidence submitted has to be shown to attorneys and or defense. Look, I don't know how the law works. That's a Pam Esquire type of thing, because I really don't know. Okay. The only law I want to know is the law that I'm from Law and Order and the law on the YouTube streets. I don't even want to be a part of it. Okay. On that side of the law that I gotta, but it seems like Majeski was saying there were documents and heard that she had a diagnosis, but had never gotten any documentation until that day. But even after that documentation, her lawyer went on about all of these, her having the brain lesions and this and that other. He was still like, look, she is going to reoffend. These people are masterminds, and this is what is going to happen. And that's all I'm saying. So let's just go look back at this documentation. I'm gonna get off. I ain't gonna keep y'all long. It's been 58 minutes. So let me show y'all this again, and why I just think the dates are not jiving to me. Okay, the dates, something, and the way it looks, it doesn't look legit to me. So if the documentation is not legit, then is the actual what's on the paper legitimate? And what they're trying to do is, okay, so look at the font. This looks very similar to the font at the top, okay, of that letter for the church. That's what it's looking like to me. See this, Ericka M. King? Then the font changes down here. This ain't even, nope. Then it's the date. Then the letter is to Miss Ericka King, and it looks a little bit like the font is off on to two. Like this was a letter that was written, but it was changed. This is just my opinion. I don't know, but it's not looking legit to me. This is from the channel Real Talk Bougie, and this is a live entitled, if you want to go watch it, because it's worth watching. Let's Talk Co-Defendant Ernesto Williams and Ericka King. Okay. And when I read this, I was like, this is not even worded professionally. And then it says Diane Vargas. Now I did. Okay. So let me stop sharing right here. Let's go. Okay. So let's go here. Let me share something else with you. There is a Diane Vargas. It doesn't mean, but yeah, Diane Vargas exists at Emory. Sure does. She's a doctor there. Diane Lucia Vargas Vives, MD. She is with Emory University School of Medicine. Her specialty is neurology. I'm not saying she doesn't exist, because those other attorneys that Ericka allegedly imitated, they existed too. So you got to have something that looks legitimate. Okay. So I would be down there at that office, because I just don't believe this is the Emory Brain Health Center at 12 Executive Park Drive, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30329. So she does exist. Okay. That there is a real doctor, but that does not negate the fact that I think that the documents are not right. They're not real. I believe that they've been there's a forging, a whole look. In the words of Kevin Majeski, he said there's a whole lot of forgery going on. And this is a whole lot of fraud. That's what he said in that Zoom meeting. These people are master. How we sit and go to work and be trying to figure out how to pay our bills and stuff. And, we want to go on vacation and our kids go to college. These people are sitting here, man. It says, hey, everybody, who's this? Eddie Peeler. Hey, Eddie, how you doing? So, they say that we just always be on Ernesto. No, when I saw those documents, I was like, child, they fake. How is she? Right. They booked her. They didn't arrest her on the 9th. Go back. Okay. Ernesto was arrested on July 7th. She was booked on July 9th, but she wasn't arrested until July 22nd. Those are in the documents there. Go back to that video that I just told you at Real Talk Bougie and watch it. And read those documents carefully. All of the documents that I'm talking about, she was booked on the 9th. And that's why they was like, well, she's not going to run because we booked her on the 9th and she didn't flee. And we were able to go back and pick her up on the 22nd. They actually arrested her and put her in prison. So you can be booked, but they didn't arrest her and lock her up until the 22nd. But the MRI was on July 11th, but they said she was that's what I'm saying. These dates are not jiving. Either something is wrong here. So all I'm saying is people on the YouTube streets, and even with true crime, there's a true crime community, and they really do be solving stuff and putting together timelines and everything. So this ain't nothing new. This is just like, this is relationship with toxicity, with some witchcraft mixed in, with some fraud, and multiple lovers, and this is just all my children to the 20th power, some sinister, some real friends like Dre, a radio person. I mean, this just has layers, but this is also like a little true crime mixed in here too. And I do like a little bit of true crime. I don't like the gory true crime, but they be over there solving cases and doing everything. Child, shoot. It says, yep. It says if they had this much energy for absolutely, they could have built, something wonderful and beautiful, and this young lady, and let me pause right here. It sounds like Ericka started out on a good foot, like most of us do. She went to college. They said she worked at Time Warner. I guess she was into public. I don't know what her, I really don't know what her major was. But then they said her lawyer said she had a 10-year history, a 10-year work history. But then what happened over the last 20 years? Did she lose her job by committing fraud? I'm wondering when her career ended, because they said she worked for Time TBS. She worked for some companies here in media or something. I can't remember what she did. So was the turn in her life when did she commit a fraudulent crime? Because they said her crimes go back to 2002, over 20 years ago. So then after that, if she got the record, did that harm her from getting any additional jobs? Because sometimes if you have a record like that, I don't think she has a felony. I'm not sure. Maybe she wasn't able to get any other jobs after that. And maybe this was her descent allegedly into this world of fraudulent crimes. I'm not sure. I don't know. It says you on it. There's a whole TV show called I Solved the Crime. Absolutely. So when people talk about these people ain't got nothing to do, the friend, and I don't mention her name because I believe she likes the attention. And truthfully, she really doesn't need it. She really, in my opinion, needs to go. When I looked at, I didn't watch her live, but one of the things as a person in the health field, I was looking at her clavicle bones. And I know y'all might think, what the heck is Monique looking at clavicle bones? Well, one of the things in the healthcare industry, when we're diagnosing for malnourishment, we look at things like the clavicle, we look at meat, the adipose tissue, whether or not, if you can see the clavicle bones, if you can see them, a person, we would consider them malnourished. I believe Miss Sonia, I don't drag her, I don't. But I believe this young lady needs to get some help. I think she needs to get off the internet. I think she needs to just go and try to heal mentally and physically. I would stop putting all this energy into this and put energy into herself and to heal and to get some meat on her bones, because from looking at her arms, we measure the adipose tissue. We will go through anthropometric measures. And from what I can see, a person may look okay, but she looks like she's malnourished to me. And I know we're going off on a tangent, but my point of doing this video is just to say, I do not believe those documents are legitimate. I believe they have been forged. And I hope that Fulton County over there and these judges, because I believe that these judges, they take, when people go past the bar, you go to school, and these people are actually going on the state board and assuming the identity of an actual attorney, and then going to court proceedings and playing attorney with your said bar license. Now they do this in other professions too. They got people who take nurses license and play nurse, people who take doctors. So this is not those people are, there's something wrong with these people who do that, because if you have the balls to do it, then you need to be prosecuted for it. Because if you work hard, you don't want nobody assuming your identity and you trying to figure out and committing crimes, and then you figure out, well, wait a minute, I didn't even do this, I didn't purchase this, I didn't do this. So I don't know what happened to Ericka. Something changed to the point where she had a career, went to college, and then she became the queen of the South and dealt with Ernesto. I don't know where the change happened at. I don't know. Let me see. It says that woman says she was a watered down version of herself. Everything makes so much more sense. It's sad. It is really sad. It is. So it's 108 of y'all here in the chat. And I just want to give a special shout out to the person that left the Cash App. Let me scroll back up here so I can put your name on the screen. I appreciate that because, we do, your donations really do help sister to sister. Thank you, for like the StreamYard and the subscriptions and stuff. It does help to pay for that when we, to bring the content to you guys. But so we appreciate it. We appreciate the thumbs up. We appreciate you guys subscribing to the channels. We appreciate you guys listening to us rant and, just talk about stuff, out here on these YouTube streets. But we definitely also appreciate, your contributions to us to keep bringing you guys the content. But, some people like the true crime. I like putting stories together. Shoot, they be putting whole timelines and all type of stuff over there on the true crime side of YouTube. So some people are like, they ain't got nothing else to do. There are a lot of people out here on YouTube talking about we don't have a life. Yes, we do. A lot of us are lawyers, doctors, nurses, professional folks, men, women who are watching these channels. And we have lives, we have children, we cook, we plan trips. So this is just a part of our life. This is not all that we do, So, that's a misconception of his friend because people do have professional lives. We're not just sitting at home thinking about Ernesto. Child, please. Ain't nobody got this story will come and go, and it'll be another story eventually down the line. So, yeah, but thank you, everyone, all the new people. And if you're new here in the chat, and some of you guys, like you, Eddie Peeler, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. But I am just hoping that Kevin Majeski and those individuals down there at Fulton County Courthouse will stop letting these people play in your face. Y'all already know these people are good with the documents and they know how to fraudulently, allegedly, make up all type of documents that look real, so real to the point that y'all are passing these documents through the Fulton County court system. And cases, there was one that was a nolle pros in 2019 that allegedly Ericka pretended to be the lawyer on and got a ruling on it. So this is not a joke. This is really, really serious. This is serious, y'all. So y'all going over to Real Talk Bougie and watch that video. I don't know how long it is, but these documents that I'm looking at that I showed y'all are the same documents that her lawyer wanted to be want it up on the screen. And Judge Manning was like, nah, some of this stuff is, her personal stuff. And she was like, well, I redacted. No, you didn't. First of all, some of that stuff shouldn't even been put up there. But since people want to play in the judge's face, and I just believe they're forged. That's it. So I've been up here for an hour and 10 minutes. I gotta go. It's all I can stay online. So for my future lives, please do this. Like, share, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell, and that way you will be notified of all of my uploads. So y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Peace, and I am out. All right, y'all. Y'all, next upload.